Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of TEW9 WWE Challenge Run here. Today, I believe it is episode 18. I want to say, maybe. And things are going lovely. I mean, we're only about episode 18, and as you can see, Tom Hardy's here. If you getting called out by Dirty Dom last week, so things are going really well. It's the go home episode heading into our second premium live event special, Raw exclusive, Bash in Berlin, and yeah, a lot of things are already set. Last week, Jey Uso beat Pete Dunne thanks to Sheamus to earn his shot at the Intercontinental against Braun Breaker. Can he do it? We'll find out. And yeah, we're just gonna fully cement the card for Bash in Berlin. You know, do that last little build up for the matches already set. And we're going to have a good night, hopefully. Going to have a good night. Check out Unforgiven if you haven't already. The SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view was really good. And no spoilers, but we got our highest rated match to save so far. So go check that out if you haven't. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the go-home episode of Raw, I think. So yeah, without further ado, it's time for the go-home episode heading into Bash in Berlin of Monday Night Raw. And we're going to kick off with a contract signing between the Women's Intercontinental Championship competitors Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria. Adam Pearce in the ring laid out. Adam Pearce unveils the Women's Intercontinental Championship. They'll be fighting over the Intercontinental title with a white strap and a bit of blue to it, because we like that little bit of pizzazz, don't we? Well, I say that. I want it on the record. I said that like episode 1 or 2 where I said I was doing women's mid-card titles, and then Jey Uso's just slapped a bit of blue on his. Does he know how long I spent photoshopping that blue on? When I could have just waited a couple months and he'd have given me it. Oh, hate it. But still. Io and Lyra both get to say their piece. Io won with a few words. You know. She's won Money in the Bank before. She's won world titles before. Something she says Lyra hasn't done. She says to Lyra, this is the biggest match of her life. To her, it's just another day of her winning gold. And Lyra says that Io's probably right. That this is probably the biggest match of her career. The chance to be not just a champion, but the first champion. The first ever Women's Intercontinental Championship. You think of, I think going back watching and growing up watching the Intercontinental Championship, seeing all the legendary names that held it, that brought meaning to it, and thinking my name could be on that list for this title. That there could be little girls out there right now dreaming of being a WWE superstar who could watch me with this title and think they want to be an Intercontinental champion. I finally have that chance. And Io, you and me have danced this dance before, and you beat me last time. I can't argue with that. But in Berlin, over in Europe, in my territory, I promise you that I'm going to do everything in my power and everything I can to win that gold. Lyra signs the contract. Both women to their feet. Table moved. Adam Pearce, Women's Intercontinental title in hand, as Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria go face to face before they are interrupted by the Women's Tag Team Champions, the Unholy Union? The Unholy Union? The Unholy Alliance? Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And they say they feel a bit robbed. You know? They came this close in the Women's US titles Battle Royale, and then they realised that here on Raw, where they're superstars, by the way, officially contracted, they didn't even get in this tournament. So they feel a little bit kind of hard done by right now. You know? Especially as the only two out here, right now at least, who do have gold. And Adam Pearce says, hey, if you got a problem, you want to show what you can do, I'll go right there. Right now, here, right now, there's two of you. There's two of them. Let's have and before he can finish that sentence, Io Sky just kind of puts her hand over his mic and just kind of nods no, like, I am not teaming with her. And Pearce is like, okay, right here, right now, we're going to have Io Sky versus Isla Dawn, and then we're going to have Lyra Valkyria versus Alba Fire. For 51, which is fine, yeah. Io, yeah, not in the mood to team with Lyra before their match. You know, she can't be asked with that. Can they coexist? BS. She's like, I don't think we can. Just let me fight the redhead. Which one? I know. Yeah. So 1-on-1 to kick off the show. Got Io Sky and Isla Dawn. The Battle of the Eyes. And in the end, obviously, yeah. Isla puts up a good fight, but Io Sky picks up the win with her stunning moonsault. The 1, 2, 3, yeah. 63 for the match. Is alright. You know, 65 for Io, 42 for Isla. Yeah, no complaints with 63 there, 54 for the wrestling, 51 for the crowd, who are hot and rising. Got the crowd buzzing. Can't ask for much more, honestly. End of the day. Io Sky does pick up a victory. And yeah, then we're going to have Lyra Valkyria versus Alba Fire. But before that, we're going to go backstage to Jey Uso, Yeet, the number one contender to the whole title, talking with Sheamus. And they're chatting. They got a match later tonight, a tag match against Bron Breakker and Pete Dunne. And Jey says to Sheamus, dog, I'm so hype. You know? I mean, I could be Intercontinental champion. You know? And I'd ask you how that felt, but I know you ain't never won that title either. But, oh, I'm ready, dog. And I just wanted to say for last week, thank you, but I could have dealt with him on my own. And Sheamus like, I don't care about any of that. You better stop running your mouth. Okay? If I wanted Intercontinental title, I could take it. Right now, my priority is slapping that stupid bitch. Stupid son of a bitch. That stupid bastard. There you go, Butch. Silly. Forget in my business. So here's going to play out, Jey. You're going to stand on my way tonight. And you're going to leave Butch to me. Because I know I've got my match with him in Berlin now. In a Berlin brawl. But I can't wait till then. So you do what you want. But leave Butch to me. For 73, yes. At Bush at Berlin. 1-on-1 in a Berlin brawl. Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. And yes, a Berlin brawl is just a street fight by a different name. Honestly. I didn't know what to call it. Because I was like, in my head I had the Belfast brawl from WrestleMania 24, JBL Finlay. And I was like, oh, he's not from Berlin. He's not from Belfast. Then we went to a Dublin Devastation match. And I was like, nah. Then it was briefly going to be called a Birmingham Brawl because Pete Dunne's from Birmingham. And then after all that, I realised, wait, we're in Berlin. That starts with B. Berlin Brawl. There you go. Nice and easy. And a tag match last night. 73. It's good. And then we do have that match. Alba Fire and Lyra Valkyria. Io Sky watching intently at ringside. Scouting out her competition. She's not too worried about Lyra Valkyria, but she'll scout her out anyway. And yeah, Alba Fire, maybe a little bit more competition. She's got more experience. Former NXT UK Women's Champion compared to Isla Dawn. In the end, though, Lyra Valkyria does manage to lock in a submission hold to Alba Fire. I'm trying to... I'll have to look it up after if she has a submission I can just whack on. If she doesn't, though, I kind of want to give her one. You know? And I'm imagining kind of like... I don't know. It's got to be something with the arms, like a chicken wing submission base type thing of some sort. I'll figure it out, just because, you know, bird. And Alba, no choice but to tap out. As Lyra Valkyria does get the win for 69. Yeah. Lyra got 58, Alba got 60, more evenly matched, crowd buzzing. 69 for the match, happy with that. No complaints from me. No complaints. Hot crowd, good match. Lyra, Io, Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. Bash at Berlin. Ooh. Ooh. We go backstage to the LWO's locker room. Masked Magic, your World Tag Champs, come in to Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. And Cruz says, I know what you're going to say. And we got this. We saw what happened last week with the Creed brothers getting into your match with the New Day. But don't you worry, you two, okay? Because we are going to handle them tonight. For a 50, the Creed brothers take on the LWO's Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde later on tonight. Yeah. Happy. Good stuff. Good stuff. No complaints. Yeah, it's just good stuff, isn't it? Then we go to backstage. We had Jay and Sheamus talking, and now we have Pete and Bron. Bron Breaker's like pissed, essentially. Like last week, Jay, saying all that stupid shit, thinks he can just attack me and take my title. I am going to enjoy hurting him tonight. If there's anything left of him, I'm going to put him in the doghouse like all the others at Bash at Berlin. And Pete's like, you can do what you want, but Sheamus is mine. As much as I would love to break Jay and prove that last week I would have beat him, if not for Sheamus, I'm going to handle Sheamus. And then Jay and you are going to get it as well. For 61. These guys are ready for their tag match later tonight. But for now, speaking of tag match, we've got that match I just talked about. LWO taking on the Creed brothers. There you go. 1-on-1. And LWO giving it their best shot. But in the end, Creed brothers aren't afraid to play dirty. And they do pick up the victory. Julius Creed getting the better of Joaquin Wilde here for a 63. Pretty good match. You know, match has been a pretty even quality so far tonight. 39 for the crowd. They weren't feeling it so much. 54 for the wrestling guys. Pretty good. 54 Cruz, 55 Joaquin, 52 Julius, 56 Brutus. They're all pretty evenly matched in the end. But here's the Creed brothers who get the win and pick up that momentum heading into Bash at Berlin, where they will be taking on Masked Magic for the World Tag Titles. Masked Magic never wants to back down from a fight. And then we go backstage to an annoyed Liv Morgan talking with her Neo Judgment Day stable, Neo JD, stable mates, JD, Raquel, Finn, and Dom. And she says, okay, guys, tonight, there's no other option. We got to get our business done. So later on tonight, Finn and JD in your tag match with Miz and Truth or whatever, you need to beat them. And then all three of you boys, Daddy, that includes you as well, at Bash at Berlin, you need to get it done. Okay? Tom Hardy, he's not even a wrestler. You're meant to be the best, aren't you? So, get the job done. And Raquel, well, I know you're going to get it done tonight, sweetie. I know you're going to hurt Dakota Kai and get her nice and ready for me to destroy in Berlin. For 72. Good stuff, good stuff. Raquel and Dakota is the main event tonight, and we got Finn and JD taking on Awesome Truth as well. So, we'll see how Neo JD get on. We'll see how they get on. And we're going to part one of a segment that I really loved them over in NXT. So I've just kind of yoinked them. Prime Target. We're going to have one for Gunther and Ilja Dragunov heading into their collision for the world title in Berlin. And it's going to be a two-part thing. Second part later tonight. First part, it focuses on their history. Down in NXT, Gunther's arrival on NXT, winning the NXT title, NXT UK title, his unstoppable reign of it, and then Ilja Dragunov arrives. And they go to war in that incredible match they had. And Ilja Dragunov dethroning Gunther. And that's how the Prime Target ends. They're kind of both talking over it. Gunther, Ilja saying that he's trained for this. He watched the tapes. He knew how to beat Gunther. And Gunther says he got lucky. But you only get lucky once. For 61. Part 2 will focus on their more recent individual experiences and history. But that's later tonight. 61 for that. I'm really excited for their match. I am. And then we're going to go backstage to Seth freaking Rollins in his locker room. As in walks Adam Pearce. And Pearce says, Seth, I came to speak with you to tell you that you will be needed in the ring later tonight. And Seth's like, what was this about, Pierce? And he says, it's about the pain in my ass you and Drew have been for a long time. Okay, so I'm going to go talk to him later as well. And I'm going to see you both in that ring later tonight. For a 64, what has Pierce got planned? Yeah, what has Pierce got, by to think about that, planned? We're going to keep on the good vibes in the tag division right now with Jey Uso and Sheamus taking on Bron Breakker and Pete Dunne. And yeah, it is mainly, you know, Jey and Bron kind of start. Pete makes the tag. Jey ready to fight with Pete, and Sheamus not too happy with that, kind of dragging Clites in the ring and throws Jey in the corner. Jey a bit shocked as Sheamus goes to the outside, tags himself in with a big kind of chop to Jey as well. Tells him to get out, I'm handling this, I told ya. And him and Pete fighting. Jey and Bron both tagging back in. In the end, Pete and Sheamus kind of brawl their way through the crowd, well, to the back, you know, out of view. And it's just kind of Bron and Jey Uso left in the ring. Much like last week, Bron on top, preparing himself in the corner for a spear, rushes at Jey, but then also like this last week, super kick from Jey Uso, catches Bron Breakker off guard, but he stays on his feet. Jey prepares, goes for another super kick, but Bron Breakker dodges it, manages to grab Jey, lift him up, going for that gorilla press slam, lifts him up, but Jey wiggling, struggling, Bron loses his grip, Jey slipping, falling back behind Bron, rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Your winners, Jey Uso and Sheamus here. Bron is shocked and pissed off. Jey Uso sliding out of the ring immediately and kind of jumping the barricade. Yeet! And, you know, in the crowd, hyping up the crowd. Bron Breakker with the Intercontinental hand, looking very pissed off. Jey Uso has just pinned the Intercontinental Champion. If he can do that in Berlin, he will get the gold round his waist. Can he do it? We'll have to wait and see. But he did it here at the Bryce Jordan Center, at least, for a 75. Good match. 58 for the crowd, 67 for the wrestling. 70s for Jey and Bron. They have evenly matched and ready for their match. 66 Pete, 61 Sheamus, who was off his game. But I'm happy with that. Crowd's hot. I'm hot. Good stuff. And then we go backstage to Awesome Truth. And in walks everyone's favourite character, Tom Hardy. And they're ready. Tom just came to wish you boys luck before your match later tonight. And just want you to know, I'm going to be out there. And I'm ready for our match. And R-Truth's like, dog, I really appreciate this. You know, me and Miz, we really appreciate all this, you know. I can't wait to team with you. I mean, I grew up, you know, watching your brothers, Matt and Jeff, and I never knew there was a third one, you know, another Hardy brother. I never knew. Jeff never mentioned, Matt never mentioned, but dog, I can't wait to see what y'all do. I'm really excited to be teaming with you. And Tom looks confused. And this is just like, Truth, you know what? Never mind. We got a match. For a 75. Oh, R-Truth. What are you like? Oh, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? Then we go to Drew McIntyre's locker room. Adam Pearce walks in. And he says to Drew, I'm going to tell you exactly what I said to Seth earlier tonight. He says Seth's name. Drew looks pissed. Both of you in that ring later tonight. Okay, you two have been a pain in my ass for too long. If there's only one way to sort it, then as a general manager, I'll deal with that. But just be out there in that ring later tonight. For a 68. What has Piercy got planned? We'll have to wait and see, because it's tag team action, shockingly, I know. Up next, it's Neo JD's, Finn Balor and JD McDonough, taking in the Awesome Truth. Dirty Dom's at ringside. Tom Hardy's at ringside. What more could you want here? And yeah, just a tag match, you know, R-Truth gets in, and he's playing to Tom Hardy at ringside. You know, he hits the Jeff dance. You know, he hits the, oh yeah, the you know, Matt Hardy thing. He goes for a twist of fate. All the All the good stuff from R-Truth. We do love him, don't we? We love R-Truth. In the end, Dom tries to sneak up and attack Tom Hardy from behind, but Tom notices, catches him off guard, judo throws him over. R-Truth, the legal man in the ring, looking out like, dog, that was good stuff. Get on the top rope, hit the swanton. Hit the swanton like Jeff. And Tom just looks over at Miz. Miz like, I don't know, man. But before he can do anything, Finn Balor, the legal man, charges across the ring and hits Miz from behind. He flies off the apron into Tom Hardy, both of them down. R-Truth looks over him, goes to hit him, but Finn Balor with a stiff shot. Yeah, I'm trying to put just a stiff hit to R-Truth, kind of dodging out of it. Lifts him up, hits the 1916, I want to say, to the top rope. Coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Your winners, Neo, JD. Finn and JD get the win here. R-Truth too distracted by Jeff and Matt's brother Tom at ringside. But 74 is pretty good. R-Truth was off his game because of how distracted he was. 74 for Finn, 61 JD, 62 Miz, 48 R-Truth because of how distracted he was. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Neo Judgment Day get the momentum. They got the job done tonight. Can they get it done in Berlin? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm booking Tom Hardy to wrestle on episode about 20. So of course I'm looking forward to it. We clear the ring and we come back and out comes the final testament. Karrion Kross, Akam, Razor, Paul Ellering and Scarlett. And Karrion says, this has been going on for too long. This waste. No time on Raw for me. For us. But time for clowns and celebrities. No. This is a final warning from the final testament of the destruction that is to come. This is our land. And nobody can get in our way. Excuse me. Excuse me. Walks out onto the ramp. Mask on. Book in hand. Scripts. I said, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what you have been waiting for. Because thus far he has made the light and the dark, the day and the night, the firmament, the heavens, the waters, the earths, the sea, the plantation, the sun, the moon, the stars, the bird and the sea creatures, the land animals, and the human beings that grace this earth. But now is time. It is time for day 7. And thus, with all he had created, done. He ended his work. He looked upon creation, which he had made, and he saw that what he made was good. He saw that what he made was good. And on the 7th day he rested, looking upon the work he had done. And he blessed the 7th day. He sanctified it, because in it he rested from his work, which he created and made. But also in it, he realized something. He realized he forgot the most important thing of all, the thing that would change creation as we know it. So on the 7th day, he halted his rest for but a moment, and he stood. And he uttered the most important 4 words in the history of creation itself. He uttered the 4 words that would let loose a spirit, a being that would change the face of not just Raw, not just SmackDown, not just WWE, not just professional wrestling, but the world, the universe as it stands. On the 7th day, he said the most important phrase that was ever uttered. On the seventh day, he put upon this earth the most important thing of all, himself. On the seventh day he said, oh, let me tell ya, say it with me, on the seventh day he said, let there be moose. And out onto the stage walks the Messiah himself, the wrestling god, Moose. Arms wide, the crowd, chanting, da-da-da, Moose, da-da-da, Moose. Script on his knees, praying to the Messiah as Moose makes his way down to the ring. He climbs in face to face, Moose and Karrion Kross. The crowd chanting, holy bleep, holy bleep, holy bleep. Moose and Kross butting heads as out of nowhere flies in Scripps, absolutely takes down Razor. Kross turns around distracted. Moose charges over, spear to Akam, he's out of it. Moose to his feet, turns back to Kross. Kross looks like he's ready to go to start something, but Paul Ellering and Scarlett, both looking a little scared even, go over to Kross and tell him not yet. They get Kross out the ring, and standing tall in the ring, the Messiah himself, the wrestling god Moose, and Scripps. For a 38, who cares about ratings? Ladies and gentlemen, he is here. The Messiah walks among us. Oh, Moose has debuted his wrestling god gimmick. It got a great rating. I used a creative gimmick. There you go, whatever it's called. The Messiah, it was a success. The Messiah, the wrestling god, is born. Oh, blimey. Now the fun really gets to begin, ladies and gentlemen, because the Messiah has arrived. Oh. 38. Love it. How am I meant to go on with the show? I know, there's more stuff after this. I should have ended it here, but alas, we continue. With part 2 of our prime target, Gunther and Ilja Dragunov. And we go over what they've been up to. Ilja Dragunov with the NXT UK title. He had it, he lost it. Moving to NXT. And when we have Gunther. And we kind of just skip over his little stay on NXT, honestly. We go straight to Raw. We go straight to that Intercontinental title reign. The record-breaking Intercontinental title reign. Gunther winning King of the Ring. Gunther winning the world title. As Ilja arrives. And Ilja showing what he's got on Raw. Proving that he can go. And finally, Ilja winning that contendership match, setting this collision course, getting this match ready to go. And both men are asked, do they have any final words? Ilja says, I know how to beat Gunther. And in Berlin, I will do it. And Gunther reiterates what he says earlier. You only get lucky once. In Berlin, Ilja, I do to you what I should have done a long time ago. For a 60. Promo-wise, these two, it's not their strongest quality. Their strongest quality is in ring. And they'll get the chance to show that off and prove it in Berlin one-on-one. I'm excited. It should be a banger. Fingers crossed. It will be the main event, obviously. It's in Berlin between Gunther and Dragunov. But still. The main event for tonight, as I said earlier, is Dakota Kai versus Raquel Rodriguez. And yeah, both women get into it with each other. Liv Morgan at ringside watching on, sat by the commentary table, looking pretty. And Raquel powerhousing, but Dakota knows her, so she's being agile, staying away as much as she can, goes to the outside, gets a cheap shot on Liv back in the ring. In the end, the referee a little bit distracted. Yeah, Liv rolls the title into Raquel, climbs up onto the apron, distracting the referee. Out of nowhere, from the crowd, rushes out. No, not from the crowd, from the ramp, rushes out Asuka and Kairi Sane. Dakota Kai's damage control, friends and allies. They rush out. Liv hightails it through the crowd. Raquel goes to use the title on Dakota, but Dakota hits a big kick to stop her, and then she can hit the chiropractor onto Raquel, onto the women's world title, and she covers Raquel for the 1, 2, 3. For a 66, we take that. Dakota gets that momentum. 64 for her, 50 Raquel. Creative finish was a success. They have great chem. We take it. Dakota Kai gets the win and that bit of momentum. Thumbs up to Asuka and Kairi on the outside looking on as she gets her arm raised. But then, it all happens kind of in a flash. Liv Morgan suddenly, sneaking through the crowd, jumps the barricade, slides in the ring, grabs the women's world title, smashes it into Dakota Kai's back, and then quickly gets out the ring before Asuka and Kairi can get in. Asuka and Kairi checking on Dakota, who's looking up, pissed, as Liv Morgan stands on the ramp, obnoxious smile on her face, raising the women's world title in the air for a 60. Liv Morgan standing tall. Will she do it come Bash in Berlin? We'll have to wait and see. But we're going to end tonight with what we've been talking about: Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Pierce has them both in the ring. They're standing. Seth comes out first. There's floods of security in the ring, kind of like a sea between both sides, and then Drew out. And Pierce says he's got them out of here for one thing: to sign the contract, to make it official. Bash in Berlin. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. He says they want to beat the hell out of each other. They can. The right way. In the ring, officially. And you know what? If this is all about world titles, you guys, you're two of the top guys on here that I got at my disposal. So, in Bash in Berlin, not only will you get to beat the hell out of each other, but whichever man comes out of that match victorious, they will be the number one contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. And Seth, Drew, I don't have a problem with you like you seem to have one with me. But if there's one thing I do want to do, it's get my world title back. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to beat you in Berlin. I'm going to get my gold back. And Drew says, you can shut your mouth, Seth. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have fun beating your ass all around Berlin. I'm going to beat you. And then Gunther, Ilja, I don't really care. I'm going to get my title back. The title I got beating you before, Seth. Because I know how to beat you. I've done it God knows how many times. And I'm going to do it again in Berlin. Both men signing the contract. And then, it's Drew and Seth. They sign the contract, but they can't wait. Pierce thinks this has gone perfectly. Both men just start fighting security guards to clear a path and get to each other, and then they brawl a bit. Even more security out, flooding the ring. The show ends. Pierce looking incensed. Seth in one corner trying to get to Drew. Drew in the other trying to get to Seth. Pulled back, but both men ready for that match. For a 59 here. Fine. Angle idea was a failure, sadly. That would have upped it. This is not going to be a highly rated show. The thing is, though, I don't care about ratings. I care about what you think. So I'll get in it somewhat early. I'll say it in a minute anyway. But let me know in the comments. What do you thought of this Go Home episode heading into Bash of Berlin? Let me know your predictions as well. Raw overall gets a 70. Better than I thought it would get. We lost Pop in 42 regions. We gained it in 8. Who cares? Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Bash in Berlin. We've got a stacked card. Drew and Seth in a number 1 contenders match for the world title. Liv Morgan and Dakota Kai fight for the women's world title. Gunter and Dragunov for the world heavyweight championship. We got Neo Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD Madonna and Dirty Dominic Mysterio taking on the dream team of Awesome Truths, Miz and R-Truth and Tom Hardy. Yes, that Tom Hardy. As well, we've got, I'm just kind of moving down the show, Jey Uso looks to become the Intercontinental champion as he takes on a champ Bron Breakker. Sheamus and Pete Dunne fight in a Berlin brawl. The Creed brothers take on Masked Magic for the World Tag titles. And also, we've got Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria to crown the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. It's a stacked show. I can't wait to see how it goes. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Leave a like if you have enjoyed it. I hope you have. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Like I said on this episode of Raw, let me know who your predictions for Bash in Berlin. Who's going to come out on top? Who's leaving with the gold? Who's going to win between Drew and Seth? There's a lot to play here. You know, let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. Like, subscribe, and as always, until next time, I just want to say a very special thank you for watching.